Do you have any secrets that you wouldn't want your kids to find out? A few videos ago, I went through my mom's diaries and address books and papers and things, and she didn't have anything salacious in them. She just mostly wrote about what she did in a day. And I didn't read them all, but it got me thinking, I should really go through my own old diaries and letters and things and destroy the evidence. You may already have heard of Swedish death cleaning, but just in case you haven't, let me tell you, it is a process of decluttering. It is common in Sweden, and it became popular around the world after a Margareta Magnusson came out with this little book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, in 2018. And basically what it is about is decluttering before you die, so you're not burdening your loved ones with having to go through all your stuff after you're gone. And in regard to personal items, she advises that we get rid of anything that might embarrass our loved ones or hurt anybody if left behind. So, time to get rid of those things. In these two boxes here, I have all of my diaries and journals, and in this one I also have some of my creative writing from when I was a kid. And I just had a quick look at these, and I'm going to keep all those. Those are kind of neat. Stories I started writing, personal writing, and like public school. There's some interesting things about my grandmother in there. But in this box here, these are all trip diaries. So there's a lot of blank pages I can use up. But I'm going to keep all those things there. And hopefully I'll have lots of trips in the future where I can use them up. But it's kind of fun reading through them and looking back where I went and my observations of where I went. Now in this box here though, this is diaries and things like that. And I already started, I had a little blue one that I've already ripped out all the pages that I need to destroy. And this is going to take me a little bit more time. There's one I might actually keep, and that is it that one? Or maybe it's that one. Oh, this might be this one, which, yes, this one, because I had pictures in it. This is the one I started when I was 12, so there isn't anything too salacious in that, but I will look through it and rip out any pages that I wouldn't want my kids to read. So anyway, I better get at this. This is going to take me a while. So here are the 3 diaries I've decided to keep. This one that I mentioned I probably would keep. It's got pictures of my cat when I was 12. I've already ripped out all the incriminating pages in there, so there's that. This one, I was not consistent at all. There's a lot of empty pages in this, but it went from 1984 to 1995. Nothing really shocking in there, but I thought I might want to read that again too, for my own pleasure, my own memories, and that. And then this was my favorite diary or journal. I don't know if it's real leather or not, but it feels really nice and smooth. And I actually was able to fill it all up over a period of 1.5 years. So if you are trying to go through your diaries, there's a few questions that you can ask yourself. Why are you keeping it? Do you want to reread it for the memories? Are you keeping it for family history reference? Would keeping it upset, shock, or embarrass your loved ones after you're gone? And here's another question you can ask yourself. if you're trying to decide whether you want to keep something or not. Would it benefit anyone to read it after you're gone? So here's all the evidence I have to shred. A little bit of garbage and a little bit of recycling. I started going through my letters in this box here. I found a few things that were not letters or even related to that here. Some cards. And then I have cards in another box. And I thought, well, maybe what I should do is try and consolidate everything. Get all the cards and letters in one box. And anyway, I thought I did pretty good. This is not my first kick at the can. It will not be my last. So if you are trying to go through your sentimental paper stuff, be prepared to come back to this many times. As long as you've got the room to keep it. And I don't mean like a full room. I mean a box that fits on a closet shelf or something that's not going to be getting in your way. And if it is something, hopefully it's something that you do pull out every once in a while, because there's no point in keeping it if you're not pulling it out for the memories, right? I mean, that's why we keep our memorabilia. That's one of the reasons anyway. I mean, I decided I can part with all those letters there. I'm going to shred them. I read them. It was enjoyable to reread them and remember all these cards and things. A lot of them, didn't say much, like, happy birthday, Carol, how are you, type of thing. These cards from my son, I had so many of them. I had to narrow it down. So I've got a pile here of the cards I actually wanted to keep. I'm keeping the homemade ones, and I got a couple when they were really little that have all three of them signed, and cards, pretty cards from other people that I decided to keep. And I had a collection of stamps, so I'm going to keep those for now. I'll put them with my stamp collection. That'll be another video. And I found a lot of the cards that I kept have like letters or notes in them. Actually, all my letters, most of my letters are in this one little pile, and I have them organized by who sent them to me, whether it was aunts, uncles, cousins, that type of thing. This pile is from friends, sometimes work friends, sometimes other friends. All those cards were from my mom. These ones were other family members that actually wrote a letter in it. And eventually I'll whittle those down too. But I like to keep some of these things, as I mentioned before, because as the family historian, it was nice to remember some of these things, some of the details I'd forgotten. And I may want to refer back to when I actually do start writing the family history book. Now, I had a bunch of Christmas letters that I found in the box too, but I have a folder here with family letters because my cousins and I now exchange letters at least once a year at Christmas time. We kind of do a synopsis of our life for the whole year. That's how we keep in touch, because we're, thousands of miles apart. And so I am going to go through these at another time. I don't want to have duplicates of it, because sometimes some of them are from me, some of them were my mom's. But I thought it was neat. Originally, it was a handwritten letter, 1988. I don't know if I have an earlier one, but that was kind of neat. And then we got smart, and, once computers came into our lives, we were able to just do a general letter for everybody, and then just personalize it to each one you want to send it to afterwards. So again, if you are going through this, I would be prepared to take your time and go back constantly, go back continually, and deciding every time you look at them, do I still need to hang on to this? Do I want to look at it again? Hopefully there isn't anything too shocking that anybody else would find in it. but if it's personal to you, and you can keep it. And I know Margareta Magnuson in her book suggests, keeping a little memory box that's just for you, and you can put on a note on it for your family to burn it after you're gone. They don't even have to look at it. So these are the type of thing I think that would go in there. I mean, if they want to look, that's fine. It's not going to be anything too shocking, but if they don't, well, that's okay too. So this is what I've got figured out so far. I'm going to try and get everything into one box. This is the box that had my letters, and there's a few other things that were not letters. And I thought, I don't know. Do I want to hang on to that? Maybe I do. Maybe that's going to be important to somebody. But that's not for today to decide. So I managed to get all my diaries and journals for trips and cards and letters in this one box with a little bit of room to spare. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. And I've got more sentimental stuff coming up. If you're like me at all and have trouble with getting rid of sentimental items, especially when you have the space for them, take heart. I think just starting that process, going through your things periodically, eventually over time it gets easier. Every time I've gone back to my sentimental papers and things like that, I've been able to get rid of a little bit more and a little bit more. This time around, I've got rid of some cards that just had a name in it. They didn't have a note or a letter. I mean, you make up your own criteria for what you want to keep. I'm getting rid of all the embarrassing diary entries from the time I was 12 years old to, I don't know, I think the last time I actually had a diary I wrote in on a regular basis was like 15 years ago. So all that embarrassing stuff I'm getting rid of now. I've reread it, and some things have been very painful to remember, and that's one of the things I wanted to let go of. I mean, the past is the past. I don't need to go through these things again. I certainly don't want my kids to. So I'm going to leave it there. I still will have to keep going back and seeing what I can get rid of in the future. But the worst is gone. If I were to die tomorrow, I don't think my kids would be too embarrassed, at least, and I don't think they would be hurt by anything they found. So I'm comforted with that, and I'm still fairly young, I'm almost 60, but hopefully I've got several more years left that I can work through things. So if you have stayed to the end, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.